There's a lot of stuff you got to do over here, man. I wish I was one of those content creators that just reacted to stuff, so I didn't have to like prep or think about what I was going to do or write a script or anything. I got to do all that stuff, man. I got to do all that stuff, which means I got to study a little bit. Like, you know how you like, I'd be trying not to learn stuff, but you end up learning stuff anyway because it's just no way. There's no way I'm not going to learn some stuff myself. And hopefully you guys are going to learn some stuff too. And let's make it easy. This is easy peasy learning, man. This isn't even tough learning, right? We got some mellow music. I think about it. I got a little mellow kind of elevator music just chilling in the background, right? This is probably like, you know, middle part of your day. Maybe you don't have a meeting right now. Maybe you took a late lunch and you just kind of chill out. You're at home in between classes. This is like mellow way of getting something in, right? Not completely wasted time. We're gonna give you some deep mythology. Now you might be wondering with your mythological queries why I have this title up above me here, talking about these corpse demons. And first of all, like, what is a corpse demon? What are you talking about? A corpse demon? Well, I'm gonna break it down to you, and it's not pretty, right? It's not pretty. When we talk about these demons here, it ain't pretty. It is not, right? But this is a reality check. And this is some info you need to have in your noodle, right? It's gonna make you safer. What I'm giving you guys, based on pure love, is some safety techniques to keep you alive in situations that you're not thinking about. That's what you can count on me for, man. Like I said, I'm mostly known for your mythological queries, right? But I'm also here to let's safeguard some stuff, man. Like if you believe in the spiritual world, you're like, yeah, it's probably something out there. There's always a counter. Like it all starts with knowledge, man. It all starts with understanding and identifying what's happening in the first place, right? That's the first part of it that we got to get to. And it starts right here, right? It starts with a little light study session, not a hard study session, right? It's like something built out of easy learning, right? You can learn together. I got comments here. You guys can hit me up and be like, what is this? Look, I'm scared. I saw a bull rag at my house. Okay. That's exactly what we're here for, right? To give you the knowledge to figure out what you need to protect yourself in any of these fucking crazy situations where you might be running either one of these things. You know why? Because they exist. They exist whether you want to admit it or not. And the reason you're watching is because you know they exist. In your heart, you know, like, yeah, somebody in my family, maybe I come from the Middle East, because a lot of these are like Indian, like, see, this is the good thing. Like, today we're going to talk culturally. I think we're like, man, I think everybody's like, let's see. This is Zoroastrianism. We're talking some Hinduism. I think we're all around Arabia. Like we're all around like Middle East. If I can include like the Zoroastrian beliefs, I think we're also in that vein, right? But I think we're kind of saying like usually we're across the globe, and I like going across the globe. But look, Demon Speed. Your Demon Speed came in here because we're talking about his people right now. That's exactly what I'm talking about, right? They're actually out there. And Demon Speed is going to watch this because he's afraid I'm going to leak their secrets. Yeah, he popped out. He popped out because he's like, yeah, this fool's over here telling people about how to like avoid us by teaching them through knowledge. And so my life is on the line. That's what I'm saying right now. My life is on the line for doing the research, right? And here's the thing. I don't know if you guys know how scary this stuff is. Like personally, yeah, I'm doing sea goddesses. Like I'm not gonna feel any fear. When you start pecking at demons, right? Then here's the important thing. Use their names sparingly, right? We're gonna use their names as little as possible, which is why it's taking me so long to get to it. Not because I'm trying to see if I get a few more viewers in, but use their name sparingly and cautiously. You don't want to overuse the name of any demon because you know what? They're always listening. Nobody calls them. You know, it's funny. Actually, I'm saying nobody calls them. Everybody calls them. And you know what? Like when you're calling for a deity, man, you notice how like deities almost never answer, right? I'm serious. You know when you like reach out to a deity, like it's very rare that they're like that they answer, right? Not demons. Demons pick up on the first ring. Literally, like a god will be like, man, like I gotta leave offering, I gotta leave food out for you. Maybe I have to buy you some jewelry, right? That's what it takes to get a god's attention. Maybe you gotta have a hot daughter waiting for Zeus. Gods require a lot of gimme, 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 right? Not these guys, right? You call them and they answer on the first ring. Yeah, sure. What's up? Not because they're not busy, but because they prioritize taking your call. God's put you on hold, right? You gotta wait. Like, there's a bunch of people there. These guys, man, I'm telling you, text, whatever you got, whatever you're working with, they can work with it because they want to work with you. And this is the problem. So let's start talking about some of these demons. And the first one here, right, I'm going to go to, let me get right in on this guy here. And you know what? My logo's not even up. Look at my logo. Very proud of my logo, guys. But I want to show my t-shirt. All right, I'm going to put you right here because I'm going to keep my t-shirt visible. I'm going to drop it. You know, I got my Cyberdyne on, so I'm rocking it very proudly. Former employee of Cyberdyne, okay? So the first one we're going to get to is this guy here, right? This terror, this nightmare demon here, right? I mean, this is some scary stuff right here, right? No one would deny that, you know, the people that styled him up did an excellent job. They're like, we want to make some scary ass visuals. Bam. This is it right here. Right? Asto Vidatu. I'm only going to say this name once, so I will not repeat his name again because you just don't, you know, again, we use their names as little as possible, right? I'm doing a website. I got to be very cautious because I'm repeating my work with shorts and all this. It's not just live, right? I don't want this guy thinking, hey, this guy, but I've talked to all the good ones too, right? So let's talk about him because the root of his name, Asto, means bone. That's significant. Asto means bone, and Vidatu means divider or separator. So hear me when I'm telling you that this Joker's name is Bone Separator. Bone Separator. That's one of the illest names. That's one of the illest like stage names I've ever heard. The Bone Separator. I mean, like you guys can come up with some good ones out there. The Desolate one is always nice. I always like that, right? Like I get it. Like the Golden one is always pure nice, right? But damn, the Bone Separator, man. That's insidiousness on top of it, right? On top of everything else, you're absolutely insidious in your nature, okay? So with a name like that, what do you guys think he's all about with a name like that? Clearly separating bones is part of it, right? But clearly he's trying to tell you something about himself. Not shockingly, this guy is about death and corpse corruption. Again, you guys knew that, right? I called them the corpse demons, and clearly they would all fall under that. So this guy is 100% about corrupting a corpse. This is deep, man. This is mad necrophilia, right? I didn't say necrophilia, necromancy, right? Yeah, necrophilia is something different. So obviously this guy is symbolized by the division of bones. A polluted corpse is what his logo is, right? If you go to his website, he's got you see if you go to his social media, right? He's got a bloated corpse as his icon. That's who he is. It's a logo. You worked on this company. They put a patch on your skin, whatever. Like, you know, when they order their corporate T-shirts and hats, it's got a bloated corpse in there. That's a symbolism of him. His iconography is, you know, in modern depictions, is a horned and skeletal demon, right? Which also works. As a figure, because you get the message out. If you are a horned and skeletal demonic being, I get your point. That is some of the best like things you can do, right? If you show me that you are a horned demon, you don't have to tell me. You really, you know, they say a picture's worth 1,000 words. Like, yeah, that's worth 1,000 words. That's worth 1,000 words right there, right? So this is how he's represented. And this is a demon. I'm going to tell you, this is some way, way, way back in the day. This is back in the day like a Just Icebreaker. I mean, even further back in the day than back in the day, right? Back in the day when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. Like further back in the day than that, right? This guy is back in the day. This is ancient Zoroastrian text. So I think this might be, since I've been doing Mythlab, which, man, I gotta start putting my episode numbers on this, right? I think I'm like at episode 10, right? We're gonna say this is episode 10. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I guess the next one will be 1. I guess it doesn't matter, right? I've already messed it up. But this is the first Zoroastrian deity that we've talked about. Did we do Angerman yet? I don't know, whatever. It doesn't matter. We're talking about this guy right now. He's live and he's direct. Let's worry about what's in front of us. So he appears in their oldest text as a demon associated with death and the corruption of the corpse, And unlike other mythological demon figures who escort souls, right? Demons, they escort your soul. There's all these demons that, or even underworld figures, death figures, who escort your soul to where you gotta be. Like, we got you already. Like, we already got you. It's over, right? You're dead, right? So you are ours, per se, right? They usually just kind of escort you and get you over, get you processed, right? Get your fits, get your sandals or your Crocs, right? Give you your pillow and your blanket. They're processing you in, right? Giving you your underwear, your toothpaste, your toothbrush, right? Probably show you where commissary is, where the break room is, right? That kind of stuff. And then they're going to show you to your cell, right? We know that. We've all seen that feeling. Somebody goes down to jail, you get processed in. Like, death is very much like a system. I don't know if you guys know this, but I've been trying to explain this to you, that most of the time in these bad places, right, there's always someone who processes you in. It's not as random as like, you just show up. Nah, they want to know who's there. They want to make sure you're in the right place. They want to get you to your personalized cell, because that's what you're supposed to be in. You're accounted for. I'm accountable for every one of these souls in this place. Have you ever seen someone who's accountable for everything in a place? Right? That's what these guys are. So that's what most of them are. Not this guy, though. He's on a whole different thing. Right? He is all about the physical body after death. He doesn't care about your soul. He lets him take your soul, right? And it's like your old car. Like, you're traded your car in. That's what you just did. You just traded your old car in. You traded it in, and you're walking away with the salesman to get your new car, and someone's looking at your car in the lot. Okay? But he doesn't want to buy your old car to fix it up. He's here to fuck that shit up. It's his now. I get to do whatever I want. And that's what he's getting ready to do. So he actually operates as an agent of Angramanya, or Ahriman. This is the destructive spirit in the cosmic forces in Zoroastrianism, right? In Zoroastrianism, there is Ahura Mazda. Remember that name, because that's who you want to run. That's when something goes wrong, that's whose name you want to scream, right? Don't call for your mom, and definitely do not call for me. Call for Ahura Mazda. That's the call that you need to make. I don't know what his number is. I'm sure he's on the web or something like that, or he probably has social media too. So this guy here, Asto Vidatu, or Bone Divider, I'm gonna call him Bone Divider because I don't want to say his government name anymore. I don't want him to get associated like that. It's kind of like D-Man, right? I won't say that brother's name either, but D-Man. You know what I'm talking about, right? D-Man, right? Big hook on his arm, come to the mirror, say my name 3 times, right? Happens to have a preference for a particular shade of woman, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. And we don't want to say his name. Just like these guys. I'm trying not to say your name too much, right? I don't know what his number is. With D-Man, we knew it was 3. I have no idea what this guy's number is. I think it's a lot higher. Like, you really gotta be like a top tier to get it to like 3. Like, say, and somebody out there is like, if you say my name once, bam, I got you. So with this guy, he is like an angry spirit, and what he is he's like, the moment that life leaves that body, he's like, I got you, bitch. And now he starts to decay. So decay in this form also threatens the cosmic nature of things, right? That's what he is. He is the threat to life on the cosmic level. But he manifests with you. Like, when you die, he's like waiting there, man. He's like waiting there. He's like, he's waiting for you to over, right? And once you over and your soul's leading away, you might be looking back at your body and you're like, man, I really need to lose some weight, right? You might be looking back at your old body like that, or it might be like, yeah, man, we had some times. I could dunk from the free throw line. I can do some amazing stuff, right? And then you look back and this jerk standing over your body like, and you know it's about to just be a despicable violation. My poor body. Why would you do that to me, right? Don't leave my fingers alone, man. Get off my face. Whatever it is, he's just violating you out. And he loves it. This is his role line. This is his only job. And here's the thing about guys like this who have these jobs, they never call in sick, man. Like, you would think once in a while they would just call in sick and be like, yeah, I can't really. I can't really violate today, man. I'm just really, I'm just really not having it today. And you get a couple extra days. No, these guys are all high achievers. These guys all love work, and they start in immediately. Like once a person dies, literally they say your soul lingers around for 3 days, and during this time, the corpse becomes vulnerable to spiritual pollution. Right? Demons attempt to inhabit or corrupt the body. So he represents the first demonic force to claim the corpse. That's me. He's a guy. He always shows up. Like he has the app where it always tells him, so he knows when somebody's ticket's punched. Right? Literally, he's got an app for that. And it's like Bing, and it's got GPS on it, so he's able to get from all the way over here to wherever you are to start wooing all up on your body, man. Just total violation of you, man. You imagine just smacking you in the round, like smacking your butt, whatever he wants to do, like just I'm shredding you down to your very core, right? So his functions include the separation of the soul from the body and the introduction of decay and pollution into your frame, man, like your sacred framework. The body you're sitting in right now, the body that earlier you put effort into, you got up, you worked out this morning, right? Did a little bit of running, you lifted weights. After that, you probably ate somewhere, like somewhere in this range, you either ate an hour before your workout or you ate after, probably had a protein during. With that, you showered up, right? Took a shower and cleansed this body that you love so much, that you're so tight with, you like that with your body, all your bits and parts, right? Everything about you. After you're out of the shower, you got out of the shower and you're like, man, let me lotion up, right? And keep my lotion right? So I go through all that, and lotion's not cheap, right? You like probably, tussled with your dreads or lined up your head. You did whatever you had to do. Put on your bound, whatever it is. You put a lot of effort into this form that you got right now, right? And he's like, ha, whatever. Look at all this work he did on his body, and I'm gonna trash it. Like, I don't know how much you guys have spent on your tattoos. Just think about your tattoo investment alone. Imagine all the ends that you spent getting your tattoos all right, only for this guy to come along and just like decay your body and laugh about it. Like, look, what does this say? Oh, dear mom. And like, I'm just going to decay that part off. I'm going to corrupt that part. Make your body all stinky, and you wouldn't even want to be around your own body. He makes you not want to be around your own body, right? So this is what corruption does. He is contamination of sacred things. As pure as it gets. Your body is a temple, right? I'm here to contaminate. I'm here to shit up right now. Literally, live and direct, right? And this is the whole process. So his role is tied directly to the concept of ritual purity. This is why it's very important. Earth, water, and fire are considered to be sacred. So a decomposing corpse threatens these elements, making a corpse disposal a major theological concern. You can't have corpses around because they inviting corruption. This is a moral thing that we think, and this is one of the, like, I don't know if you guys realize this, but how you handle your dead, that says a lot about your civilization, your culture. That's one of the core things, like, that we, right away we bury our dead, right? There's a whole sacred thing. Not we just avoid where that dead body is. We actually like handle the dead. We have a whole process of handling dead, and that says cognitively what we think about death, like, or at least our understanding or our vulnerabilities, I should say, to literal diseases that manifest. Like the dead, rotting flesh obviously invites all types of parasites and scavengers, in addition to creating like health hazards if we actually kept them around. So that was cognitively something that manifested in humans early on. This is one of our first signs of like, yeah, we're operating with something. Got a little bit of a spark going up in this noodle here, right? It's a very special thing about humans, right, in general. So during these early periods, their funerary practices became highly codified. It says a lot about them. They had very well structured burial systems. Like, this was important. They weren't playing around with this stuff. Like, look, you got to get these bodies taken care of. We're not messing around with you anymore, right? Stop it. And we see that in other cultures, like the Kemites. A lot of people did that, right? Mummifying. But handling the death, like how you did it, says a lot about the culture, what you thought about it. Okay. So it had all these practices. They had, when you see an issue, and especially when you personify it in this way, what you do is you develop rituals to handle this issue. And so they did. They had These are usually funerary features like, exposure of the body to the Tower of Silence, avoidance of burial in the earth, right? They believe, avoidance of cremation, of fire. So they have these rituals. So these practices prevent the corpse from polluting sacred elements. Ritual purification was what we were giving to the corpses initially. So dogs were sometimes brought near the body of a spiritual place to make sure that that you could drive away the corpses, the corpse demons. Dogs, wow. You know what, man? Sometimes I just be like, dogs, man. But sometimes you're like, man, these dogs are really, or they used to be really useful. I have little dogs. My dogs can't do anything. My dogs are good for nothing other than sitting on your lap, right? And they want to play and being a source for me to take something out. But it's nice on walks. Like, I like my little companion dog. He's cool. I had a cool dog, right? But dogs used to do some stuff, man, like driving out corpse demons. Dogs used to drive out corpse demons, right? So I gotta give it up to dogs on that one. Wow. I don't know if your descendants are making you proud right now. I don't know if you've seen what your descendants, because I think like whatever dogs were doing that ain't the kind of dog I got. That is not the kind of, like, I got the kind of dogs where when they hear a sound, they're scared, right? You hear a sound and you're the scared one, not, I gotta protect you. My dogs, like I thought of my dogs protecting me. That's not even gonna happen, right? Never. I gotta protect my dogs. So they flipped the script, on me, right? Okay. But so these dogs were out here driving away demons. I ain't got one of them dogs, okay? But that's cool. So he represents the decay as a metaphysical enemy, because all this stuff is, it's 100% like woven into the whole metaphysical field. So the physical decay we see of the body is also metaphysical decay as well. It's corruption, on matter, where once life departs, right? And this is part of their system. Life aligns with Asha, which is cosmic order. And this will make sense. It's pretty easy. Decay aligns with the Druge. If I'm saying that right, probably not. This is falsehood and this is corruption. So those two things, like, that lets you know what side are you on, right? Literally, this is an important thing, right? What set are you claiming? If you come from where I come from, that clarifies all of it, right? What set are you claiming, right? I'm claiming order, fool. What? Okay, right? And it was just cool if they're also claiming order. So if you're like, what set you claiming, and I'm like order, and then you're like, oh, I'm claiming order too. What branch you in? Then we're cool. We automatically are in vibe with each other. We all get that. But if they roll up on you and they're like, what set you claiming? And they're like, I'm claiming order, and they're claiming decay. Then we got beef right there. It's on site. This is one of the first places ever that developed metaphysical on site, because these guys, you're diametrically opposed. This is the duality. You are a direct 100% threat to me on both ends of it. I'm trying to get at you constantly. So the corpse becomes this battleground that these two forces would have to bang it out in, right? Get it on. Somebody's probably gonna get stabbed up, right? I hope it's order who wins. That's what I'm rooting for. So death is not just a biological event. This is cosmically dangerous. This is cosmic exposure on a level that, we all have to be mindful of. Now, in myth, he is in some of their oldest sources and their theological principles. He functions in a part of the broader conflict between Ahura Mazda, who is principal order, and Angramania. So you see their dual system is set up right off the bat. We know who the boss is. We know who we're rooting for, right? We know who the leader, who's the CEO it is, right? I'm claiming order, and Ahura Mazda's our CEO. This is our guy, man. This is our general manager. This is our star player, right? Yeah, that's what they are. That's our star player, right? You depend on this guy to go out and get us 40 a night, right? Or maybe 35, couple of rebounds, right? 5 assists. Probably, I really at least need 6 rebounds and like 6 assists, right? That's what we need out there. But this is our franchise guy, and their franchise guy is Angramania. He's also putting up some impressive numbers, right? There's some. If we're looking at the MVP balloting, he's always going to be in that top 4 because he carries a big load for his team. But he uses avatars very impressive. Now, culturally, what it meant is these were all concerns that Zoroastrianism was concerned with in terms of purity and cosmic maintenance. So his presence reinforces that they needed strict funerary laws, environmental protection of sacred elements, awareness of metaphysical consequences of death itself, and the concept of corpse demons encourage all this ritual discipline and communal responsibility for handling the dead. This is all of our problem. This is all of our problem, right? So we got to work together for the greater community, right, to keep chaos and all this stuff from sinking in, right? So this is all our best interest, right? All of us want the city to come pick up dead bodies, right? Every single one of us. So we all contribute to that, so you can come get these dead bodies up out of here, right? So that's exactly what's going on. It's very important work that these people do, right? So let's remember that in real life. So moving off of this guy, like this rascally rabbit right here, we're going to talk about this next form of demon, right? This corpse demon, right? And this isn't a singular entity, whereas the previous guy that we talked about, Asto, right? Not going to say his whole name, Bone Divider. He was a singular entity. He was a personification entity, okay? The Ghul, Ghul, is something else. This is from Arabian graveyard folklore. And its name comes literally, okay? In that culture, linguistically, the names Ghul or Ghula means to seize, to overwhelm, or to destroy. You know, I always say, where is the chase and how can I cut to it? And that is the name alone of this thing cuts right to the chase of exactly what I know exactly what you're getting ready to do right now. I understand. I center everything about you and your mission. I got it already, okay? Because you put it out on display for it to see. Which, thank you, right? And this being is known to dwell in graveyards, deserts, and he's associated with the consumption of corpses. Yeah, he was associated with eating corpses, which is a particularly insidious thing, right? So he is symbolized as the devourer of the dead, is symbolism, and he's usually just shown as a monstrous humanoid with distorted limbs eating a corpse. Like, this is how do you draw him? Like that, all the time. He's in a graveyard, he's all ugly and smashed up, he's eating a corpse. We don't have to go far to get to that, right? We can stay right here, and he's telling you, at least these guys are honest, right? At least you're telling me right up front who and what you are, by your name, right? Bone Divider. Yeah, I'm gonna stay away from him, right? To seize and overwhelm and destroy. If you knew somebody's name meant seize, overwhelm, or destroy, you would not mess with that person, right? If you are in a new class, if you're taking a class, I don't know, for the guys who are in college, you're taking a new class, ladies in college, and you're like, I got a new study group, and you meet someone, he's like, my name is Ghul, and then you're like, seize, overwhelm, and destroy. You better run. You better stay the F away from this guy, right? Because you know what his name is. He's telling you, if you meet someone and his name is Bone Divider, don't later tell me you didn't think he was a bad guy. Don't tell me that later, right? If his name says on Bone Divider, don't tell me how he seemed like a nice guy when you met him. Or if his name is to seize, overwhelm, and destroy. Because they're telling you up front who exactly, their moms decided to tell you up front who they were. So this is what this guy does. So obviously we know what you're getting ready to do. You're getting ready to seize, you're getting ready to overwhelm, and you probably, more than likely, getting ready to destroy. And he's just all throughout Arabian folklore, which is kind of cool. So, and later this gets incorporated into some Islamic mythology. Because he's known for inhabiting the desert, he's known for being around ruins. What else is he around? Oh yeah, burial grounds. And feed on the bones of dead. Like, we would hang out where we ate too, right? If there's food over there and it's free, I'd hang out there. Like, obviously not a corpse, but I'm telling you, there's a couple places out here, man, that I would hang out at all the time. Especially if it was free. If I just had to wait for it to show up there, I'm going to be hanging out there all the time. I have nothing else better to do. And I love it. You see how happy he is? You imagine, man. Now, if the McDonald's CEO had looked that happy about eating a McDonald's burger, that would have changed my whole insight about it. But he didn't, right? The McDonald's CEO did not look as happy as this guy. This is the kind of joy you need to show me. The Burger King CEO did that. Did you see the Burger King CEO eating his burger? He was totally happy about it, just like this guy here. This guy is like looking at the camera. He's posing for this picture. You can see he's already eating. He posed to be like, right? You get it? You see what I'm saying? He was like confirming that we got the picture. Yeah, I want to show it like kind of dripping down my mouth. Yeah, right there. That's it. That's the money shot. And it is the money shot. It's working on me. So how these demons operate is they just get raw about it. How do you think they operate? I'm serious. If everything I've told you so far, what do you think these guys are gonna do, right? What do you think they're how they move about? Well, it's pretty easy, right? They're gonna dig up graves and they're gonna consume the corpse. Okay, you probably knew this was gonna happen, right? I'm gonna lay some other stuff on you too, though, right? This is stuff that will be helpful even if you're not dead, because they also attack travelers. Now, particularly if you're like, they lure victims in isolated places. So these guys aren't just, bait like waiting, opportunity. They create opportunities for themselves. In some stories, they're also possess shape-shifting abilities. So they may appear as lost travelers themselves. Most insidiously, they will appear as a beautiful woman. And that's the thing, man. Like, dogs, y'all gotta stop falling for this, man. You're the easiest prey in the world, man. All y'all get caught by a pretty girl. You're gonna have to stop it, man. Like, seriously. If the game plan is out, like, how can I kill this guy today? Oh, yeah, this is it. This is it right here. Bugs Bunny showed you this ruse. That's how long they've been running this on. And they'll also, I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what we're going to do here. But they also get you with helpless kids. I know it sounds rough. I know it sounds rough, guys. I know it sounds rough. I'm only telling you how to survive this encounter. Morally, what you want to do with this is 100% your business. I cannot tell you what to do if you see a helpless kid in the world. Okay? I can't. Especially if it's near a graveyard. If you see a helpless kid near a graveyard, I can't tell you what to do. But I know what I'm going to do, right? I know what I'm going to do. No, I don't. I do know what I'm going to do. I know what I think I would want to do. But obviously, that's why these traps work, right? Because the whole goal is to deceive you and lead you away from safety, and then gotcha, bitch, right? They're all over you. That's exactly how they work, okay? Now, historically, like I said, this is from pre-Islamic Arabian folklore, which is amazing folklore if you've never checked it out. I highly suggest it. I can recommend some books, okay? And they're known, of course, with their association with the Arabian Peninsula and then the Middle Eastern desert. So they appear in lots of sources, some of their oral traditions, and then their medieval literature. They're also heavily featured, in there. And one of their tales is 1001 Nights, and this is where this Ghul becomes a foundational figure in the concept of the graveyard monster. This is how the stories kind of start bleeding out from them. So now they're seriously known for this. And while there's, obviously there's no doctrine against these guys. Like, there are some avoidance techniques that you can use, I will say, okay? Including like grave protection rituals, change up your travel safety, especially going through the deserts, because this was a threat of the deserts, right? A threat to the deserts. You have to have really refined burial practices. Some folklore suggests protective measures like is isolating burial sites, which is very common, right? Did you isolate an entire burial site, right? That's reciting protected prayers, destroying suspected ghouls by severing the head, and they often appear in cautionary tales, warning travelers about the dangers of wandering alone, right? Don't travel alone, something gonna get you, right? So that's how they operate. Now, in their theological framework, they are the desecration of the dead. They are the wilderness as a place of danger, clearly. They are predation on natural human vulnerabilities. Like, there's a pretty girl. There's a pretty girl. I know it seems I know this whole scenario seems shaky, but man, she's really pretty. Let me go see what's going on over there, right? That's a human vulnerability. And for the ladies, they get you too, because you guys are weak for little kids. Like, we're weak for little kids, so are you. They got something for you too. They might I don't know if you see a handsome guy, like, oh, let me go check him out. But you probably will help a kid, and they know that about you and your maternal ass, right? They leverage your maternal ass against not just us. They're not just getting us. Yeah, they know how to get us, but they know how to get you too. You're all maternal, and oh, look at the kid. Gotcha. That's how it works. They're going to get us with some different bait, but here it is, right? Ooh, a piece of candy. Now your ass is in a pot boiling. You're about to get eaten, right? You see how you see how it works? They just Hanseled and Greteled you. Yeah, they Hanseled and Greteled you, right? They led you right up to their place with all this candy and stuff, and they got your ass, right? Got your maternal ass. Taking care of kids. Look at you. Look at you now. Look at you now. You're getting gnawed on by a corpse eater. Because it preys on your vulnerabilities, right? Some is strength, but maybe it's a vulnerability here. So they were also touching on issues that were like, violation of boundaries, grave robbing, cannibalism, all these things were part of the greater landscape that they were really telling us about how they saw death under their cosmology. And they represent to this broader class, if we look at the broad mythology, of beings, because they're associated with jinn. So they're also in that class of beings. Unlike jinn interact with humans in far more complex ways, right? Jinn are very different in how we relate to a jinn. Whereas ghouls, this is all hostility and predatory nature. So they occupy like several niches. We see kind of the same belief system or expressions in European graveyard spiritual or spirits, Slavic flesh-eating undead, and then later like zombie and vampire folklore. This is kind of essentially the same thing. Looks more zombie to me by the way he's posed at it and he's scrubbing. So this reflects a lot about, this tells us about a culture and society when we know that travel itself was dangerous across deserts. This is one of the main things that he wanted. Cat. I still got some good info for you, Cat. So hey, strap up, right? This is gonna be scary. I know it's late there. Okay, this is gonna be a scary one, right? We're talking about corpse demons. Okay, so this is it right here. So this was telling us you better have respect for the dead. Their whole preventing this from happening meant that you better respect the dead. You better show the dead dignity. You better give them proper burial rituals and all those things to keep these things from manifesting because now the more that's going on, that's when they start snatching people off the street too, because now they're just around. You're just around all the time, right? Yeah, I got some new stuff. This is my second one today. So I have a really awesome one coming up after this. I'm gonna tease for you guys later. Okay. So this is what these guys represented, like some cultural strengths. Like you can see this belief spills out into shaping your culture, shaping what your laws, right? We see codification of laws based on we're worried about this thing coming up, right? And you should be. So now we're coming up to another class, which is this demon right here. This is even scarier than the other ones, man. This is even scarier than the other ones because this is, I think, is more linked to like almost vampire mythology right here, right? Vetala, right? This is a Vetala, and this is an Indian corpse spirit. Essentially what it is, right? Now this is an old creature here. We're talking, this is like Vedic Sanskrit. This is a Sanskrit word that refers to a spirit that will inhabit a corpse. So this is all about possession of dead bodies. And the symbol of this is an animated corpse, and this is the iconography. This is the image, the symbol that you would show if you want to let people know what you're talking about. All you gotta do is show me that. And if I see that, then I'm like, yeah, okay. I know what's going on, right? I'm gonna this is a great symbol. This is the best symbol for saying exactly what you're all about, right? So kudos on that. Now, these are obviously supernatural beings that inhabit and control dead bodies, coming from Indian folklore, okay? And they're different because they actually possess intelligence and speech while they got your body. Just run around doing whatever they want, running up your credit card bills, right? You're already dead, right? So they got your body now. And they are associated, obviously, with cremation grounds, graveyards, abandoned temples, and known for their ability to possess corpses. So they enter a dead body, reanimates it, uses it as a vessel, runs around town buying stuff, getting all kinds of shoes, using your credit card because your face identity matches, drawing all the money out of your bank, right? This is what they do, right? They just run around messing up your former life, and they just drop it off when all the tab comes true. But they're also known for highly defined philosophical speech. They could talk to you about anything, any topic. They were going to be able to like lay into it, right? And any philosophical I don't know why you'd be sitting there talking to them, but they can do that. I don't know why you would do that, but clearly they have a reason, right? I'm gonna do my symbol right here. This is my iconography. And they're also said to be, they love riddles. Like, who's gonna talk to these guys long enough to hear a riddle? I don't understand that part, but whatever, okay? They're known for riddle, and they do have access to supernatural knowledge, right? Now, they always look like this. They can be like, these are kind of like death tricksters. Like, they're kind of trickster deities about death. Like, some of those gruesome you'll ever see, but that's essentially what they are. They're just death, right? Now, historically, obviously, this is primarily South Asia, and there's a couple like famous stories about these, and this goes way back. They're part of a larger narrative cycles from like the ancient, like kind of the classical period for this Indian folklore. So, you know, they're kind of environment, you know, set with rituals that protect the environment linked to death. So, you know, anything like tantric traditions, you know, meditation around cremation sites to, you know, hold, you know, demons and spirits in place. Mantras, of course, are very powerful, what I would describe as vibrational. So you're speaking or kind of spell casting, ritual cycles, protective charms, like just the normal practices you would use to prevent evil spirits from getting out of control, right? That's what they are. So on a fundamental level for all of us, what they represent is she staring at me right now? Like, just tell me, is she staring at the back of my head right now? Because I feel like she's staring me down right now. Okay, I think we're gonna have to change this image here in a little bit, but yeah, thanks for letting me know. It's just kind of staring me down. Okay, so this is what. So these beings here, they represent a couple of things, including like the boundary between life and death, because clearly they're habitual line steppers. Yeah, these are habitual line steppers in terms of that. They possess consciousness after death, or the idea of this, and because of their riddle nature and their philosophical movements, they are considered to be tests for both wisdom or intelligence, right? So I hope you're up to it. I'm going to be scared and grossed out if I see it. So they occupy a space that works between like ghosts and demons and undead spirits, throwing a little bit of philosophy along with that, and there you have that. So we have three, you know, very well-defined creatures that all kind of come to us from one region. Like, we got a good dose of, you know, Zoroastrianism, pre-Islamic, Middle East, and then also Indian folklore. So that's kind of going deep back in the crates. But that's what it's all about. That's what Mythlab is about, right? We're handling your mythological queries and putting it in relatable forms that you guys can go and do what you will with. Hopefully use it to be protection, right? Hopefully you're going to use it to keep yourself safe. I doubt it, right? If you guys are going to go out there, I know you guys got a spell book sitting in your lap right now. I know you got a spell book sitting in your lap right now. I know your phone is sitting on a spell book right now. Don't do it. Don't be calling nobody names, man. Don't think you can do anything with any of these creatures, because you can't. And you're going to mess it up all for the rest of us, right? Again, we work as a community. We're a team, okay? Teamwork will make the dream work. And the dream is just staying alive. The dream is staying alive and being protected against these demons, okay? Now, I got a special one for you guys. So I'm going to tease what I'm going to do next. And I'm telling you, I really feel like this is a really good one. This next one, I think it's deeply psychological, right? Deeply psychological, because we're going to talk about some stuff that's going to matter to you guys too, right? If I can find it here, right? So what we're going to talk about is these guys right here, okay? Do you see this here? These are the nightmare engineers, right? And I'm going to break down how each of these writers work their psychological magic, or dark, whatever you want to call it, right? These are kind of the pioneers of it. We're going to kind of break down their work, kind of take a look at what they're saying in comments, because these guys all have a singular foundation. I don't know if you guys realize that. I'm going to give you a taste of something to watch. And this is your modern media. This isn't even ancient textbook. This is what's happening right now. One of these guys has a TV influence on right now. In fact, there's probably multiple. We have cable. We have everything. We have a super box. We can watch anything. So one of these guys is spreading out their myths right now on somebody's TV. So we're going to explain why each of these guys, what they kind of represent, what their writing represents, what they're showing us about the world, what they're drawing on mythically, because they have an ancient past. And I'm positive right now, guys, I'm going to take you on a good ride. So I'm going to log off now. I'll probably be back on at 5 Central Time. So I'm going to be on in like 2 hours and 10 minutes. I'm going to come back and I'm going to drop this one for you. But of course, if you're like Kat and you're across the pond, you can come back and watch any of these at any time. So I definitely appreciate the support from all you guys, TikTok and YouTube. I'm having a great time doing these myths. And it's all love, protection, share knowledge, right? That's what we're doing together. So you guys are all appreciated and you guys are all loved. So I will be back later to speak to you.